For joining the program, I want to say I was like 165, 170. In the 4 months, I've gained 10 pounds, and that's straight muscle as well. Yeah.
Do you remember like the first day doing those 5-10-5s and what was that like for you?
First day, it was kind of difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had done them before, but it had been a while.
How did you even come across my content? Was it you presenting it to your parents or was it your parents bringing it to you? What was that dynamic like?
I actually stumbled upon it on Instagram, and
You
I
did.
saw
Okay.
that, and I was like, this looks like it could be pretty interesting.
All right, here we have Braxton. Braxton, feel free to introduce yourself.
My name's Braxton Culver. I'm from Waverly, Nebraska. I am a 2026 grad, and I play outfield.
Awesome, dude. And before joining into my program, walk me through it. What was baseball like for you?
It's pretty sluggish. I had just finished a pretty decent season from my summer year, but didn't feel like I was getting really anywhere further than just playing time, like wasn't gonna get anywhere next level. So I feel like I needed more guidance. So that's why I turned to you.
Absolutely, dude. And you were just telling me some of the improvements that you made on the strength department. Let's first hit the physicality in the gym. Where were you at before joining into the program as far as like body weight, and where are you at now?
Before joining the program, I want to say I was like 165, 170. In the 4 months, I've gained, I think, 10 pounds, and that's straight muscle as well. Yeah. I mean, I got stronger in every category as far as I can understand, faster as well. Like, it's been an insane improvement.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And when you say faster, do you mean like foot speed?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. With your 60 time, do you know where you were at and where you're at now?
Previously, like, we had guessed, I hadn't ran it in a while, but we had guessed
Okay.
it was probably like 7.3.
Okay.
And now it's like, I think 7 flat. So,
Okay.
and
Let's
I
go.
think I still have a pretty good
Right
chance
there on
to
the
get to
cusp.
five.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then what about your 5-10-5? That's something that we did throughout that 14-day challenge. Do you remember like the first day doing those 5-10-5s and what was that like for you?
First day it was kind of difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had done them before, but it had been a while. And
Mhm.
tell you what, I think I ran like a 4.49 or something. I think like that.
Mhm.
Towards the end, we got down to like a 4.1. So
Yeah. When you're down into the 4-1s, dude, that is quick. But let's talk about some of the basic lifts, the squats, the deadlifts. Any crazy improvements there as far as what you were able to pull from the beginning of the program to now?
start of the program, I think I had a 315 squat,
Okay.
and right now I have 365.
Okay, good 50-ish pounds.
Yeah.
And then what about like deadlift or bench? Any improvements there?
Bench, we started at like 195. We're up to 245 with that as well.
Okay, not bad. A good
Mhm.
30-ish pounds there. And then what about any of your metrics, your arm velo, your exit velos, anything like that you've seen any improvements with?
When I joined my exit velo, I think it was 85, and we're up to like a 91, I believe now.
Okay,
So
let's go.
pretty good improvement there. Yeah.
Okay, 6 miles an hour of exit velocity. Do you know the difference in arm velo?
I can't like I can tell it's definitely better. I can't like remember it off the top of my head. I don't have like the number for it though now.
I hear you. I hear you. And I guess before joining into the program, to kind of shift gears a little bit into the recruiting side of things, where were you at mentally in the recruiting process before joining into the program?
Literally like no clue. Like and even like with my interview to start it with, like he was talking with me and I was like news to me. And that
Hmm.
since then, yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty good path where I'm at now.
Yeah, absolutely. And walk me through the college commitment blueprint and that outreach system that I teach. What was that like for you?
It's really straightforward actually. I mean, you laid it out pretty well for me. Like it was just, type up the emails, get the template going, make it so the coach actually feels like they are there for it, like they know this is for them, and then you send it out and hope they receive it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And with that recruiting side and meshing the mentality of how we're going about the physical work, happy that you saw some of the progress there on the physical development side of things. But I do have to ask, just out of curiosity, before joining to my program, were there any things that you were like maybe worried about as far as my academy or anything as far as what the program was going to look like? Were there any thoughts like that?
I thought it might be a little too complicated for me. I know I'm kind of a busy person as the way it is, so I feel like I wouldn't be able to balance it super well, but it felt like it did. I mean, I was getting in good time with it every day, I feel like. So it wasn't a huge time commitment, like more than what it would need to be.
Yeah, and I always like to say it's what we're how we're shifting the work that we're already putting in, not completely adding in two separate workout programs. But also, like, what made you guys actually take that next step inside the program? Was there anything particular that, made you guys feel kind of the rush to join in?
Better late than never, honestly. I mean, like, we realized that I wasn't getting anywhere with recruiting, and I knew that like if I actually wanted to, I had to hop in immediately. So saw
Mhm.
you, and we were like, yeah, it looked like a pretty good fit. So wanted to reach
How
out.
I have to also ask, like, how did you even come across my content? Was it you presenting it to your parents, or was it your parents bringing it to you? What was that dynamic like?
I actually stumbled upon it on Instagram, and
You
I
did.
saw
Okay.
that, and I was like, this looks like it could be pretty interesting. I want to
Okay.
look into this a little further, and then set up an
Awesome.
interview.
Awesome. And I'm guessing you had to have that conversation with your parents as you were setting up that interview. What was that conversation like? Because I can imagine a lot of parents are like, "What did you do? What did you sign up for?" Or, things like that. So was there any type of that dynamic with your parents?
So my parents were like really heavy, like skeptical on it because they weren't sure like what I would have done myself roped into, like you said. So when I told them it was just like an interview and this was just like, we're looking at it. It's not like hard set deadline, nothing like that. We were just getting out there. We're gonna go look what it is. They were on board.
Okay, awesome. And that's of course where a lot of parents I feel like so I don't have any kids. If I'm a parent and my kid does something like that, I'm going to be a little bit skeptical at first because I haven't had the chance to do the research. When talking to your parents, especially kind of easing them through that process, was there anything in particular that you remember that kind of eased their mind a little bit?
Honestly, like the metric side that you had with it, it was like you had shown like an improvement with everyone
Mm-hmm.
that like everyone that came into the program, you
Mm-hmm.
showed that they got better. It wasn't just a couple of people here and there that improved. It was everyone.
Okay. And that definitely spoke to them.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
They were like,
Awesome.
yeah, this gives a good chance for
Okay.
him.
Cool, man. Cool. It's always good insight. But let's say that there is a family or, let's say you're speaking to your younger self, dude. Before joining into the program, what would you say to your younger self as far as laying some proper expectations before joining into the program?
Well, and you got to stay disciplined. I mean, there's going to be some times that it's just like, you don't really want to do it. You got other things that you want to go do, but you got to stay on that because if you don't, like, it's just easier and easier every time you don't get on that. You just got to stay on it, keep going, no matter what, even if you don't feel good that day. You just got to keep going.
Absolutely, dude. And if we really had to just wrap things up into one final last statement that you have, as far as what you've learned inside the program or anything in particular that you want to share with anyone else, what would you kind of, wrap that up into one comment, one sentence, one last thing that you'd like to share?
I would just say the mental, like the confidence that you got from it helps out a lot. Like before I came in, everything like I was kind of skeptical, not even that, but like of my ability. But now I'm just, yeah, I'm confident in myself.
Cool, dude.